Hello everyone, welcome to the review. I just finished watching Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves. Without further ado, let's go ahead and discuss what I thought about this film. And as per usual, will be spoiler free. I was never overly familiar with the Dungeons & Dragons mythology and the lore. Growing up, there were friends, classmates, teachers, family who were very much into the mythology and the lore that it represented. But me, on the other hand, my love was for, say, Red Sonja, Conan the Barbarian. Of course, much later on, there was Lord of the Rings, the Northmen. Those were my uh, preferences when it comes to the sort of sorcery mythology. Upon watching the trailer for this film, my initial reaction was not too really interested in it, simply because I'm not familiar with Dungeons and Dragons, other than the fact that I know it's very similar to Magic the Gathering, I'm assuming, and as well the late 90s, early 2000s cinematic adaptation of the same name. My knowledge of Dungeons and Dragons overall is next to zero. So anyone who has any questions about the concept in and of itself, you are simply looking at the wrong individual, because I will not be able to give you any answers until I decide in due time to research the overall lore that it does represent. So the cast of Dungeons and Dragons is very, very impressive. I do like Chris Pine, Sophia Lillis, Michelle Rodriguez, and of course Hugh Grant. And the trailer really gave off a different type of vibe that I was expecting. And the film really does a great job in terms of saying that we are not going to take this so seriously to the point of making the audience feel bored or alienated in and of itself. They simply decided, let's go ahead and have it be more along the lines of, say, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy mixed in with sort of sorcery material, and boom, that's you have Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves. What separates this film from, say, Guardians of the Galaxy is the fact that it's solely focused on the chemistry among the cast. I mean, they play miraculously well off of one another. The chemistry is obvious, and you could tell they were simply having fun with one another, being able to banter back and forth, and Hugh Grant chewing up scenery in the process. It just was a true sense of breath of fresh air that allowed you to be entertained for a 2 hour plus adventure that simply takes you on a majestic journey, and that's what it's all about. It is truly an entertaining film to witness on the big screen, and the fact that it opens with the cast thanking the audience for coming to the movie theater, because I don't believe that you can truly appreciate this type of story on a small screen or a tablet, laptop, watch, what have you. It needs to be on the big screen in order for the audience to feel captivated by whatever it is that they're watching in terms of this adventure. This story primarily focuses on these thieves, these band of thieves who have different abilities, and they're searching for this tablet that is supposed to resurrect resurrect the dead, if you will, someone that is very much important to them. And I'm not going to go into any type of detailed spoilers, but that's basically what it is. It is straightforward, very formulaic, predictable, about what you'd expect, colorful, magical, and it really does just give you that sense of, I am on an adventure and I'm loving the humor, the dialogue. The humorous dialogue is what really sold it for me. And I think, really, in all honesty, it's probably the best way to go about it when it comes to a story like of this scope. Is don't necessarily play it straight. Just go all out, have it be humorous, and have fun with it. And that's what he did. The music is wonderful. The CGI, some questionable moments, but it's still very passable. Chris Pine is a highlight. Sophia Lillis does a great job. Michelle Rodriguez is always a charm. I will watch her in anything that she's in. Hugh Grant, top notch as well. The over the top, charismatic, arrogant villain who you could just tell how he decided to go about it with his performance was just, you know what? I'm here for the paycheck and I'm here to have fun, and that's exactly what they did. Dungeons and Dragons, like as I said, very predictable, formulaic, nothing that I'm overly familiar with, so I can't go into deep, extensive detail as far as whether or not the Easter eggs are there or the references. That's not my forte, so I do apologize for that in advance. But other than that, I'm going to go ahead and give, considering that my expectations were next to zero for this film, I will give Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves a 2 thumbs up, a 10 out of 10. I do recommend it. Be sure to watch it. There's nothing too horrifying or violent for children. It's great for the family, and it's really just a fun adventure. And I do believe this is something that I appreciate about the fact that we are returning to the more traditional aspect of sincere entertainment rather than anything that's trying to force an agenda on the audience. So that is my review of Dungeons and Dragons. I hope you all enjoyed it. Be sure to be on the lookout for my next one with Mario and Air. Other than that, take care and peace out.